may not have the things you want, but if you have the things you need, thank the Lord, don't give up and move on. Cause no matter what you're going through, there's somebody doing worse than you. So be thankful for what you have. For what you have. Cause that person doing bad could be you. There's somebody doing worse than you. So be thankful for what you have. Cause there's always somebody worse off than you. Listen, some people don't know.
Alright, peace y'all. We back on the check-in, man. We got my man Woody Rock tapping in for a second interview, y'all. We gonna be talking about some interesting stuff today about the music business, y'all. You know, a lot going on right now as far as with the music business. So he's gonna give some details about it. Salute to everybody in the chat. 55, Alicia Day, Deontay, Kyoko, Soul Tone Deaf, B Munger Wash, Star Stone, man. I love y'all, man. Thank y'all for tapping in. Please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And if y'all would like, hold on, let me make sure I get this out the way. If y'all would like, you know what I'm saying, just make sure y'all tap in with your boy Woody Rock. We're gonna give his information too after the interview as well. Salute to Trifling. He says, salute, bro. Could you do a video on Bobby Hemmett one day? His content about God and the devil being the same person is mind-blowing. Oh man. Yeah, that's a deep topic. Maybe I'll discuss it one day. I'll talk about it one day. But thank you, Trifling, for the super chat. Salute to the Wig Doctor. BP is in the building. So yeah, man, we got my man Woody Rock on the line. Woody Rock, man, say what's up to the people, man.
Hey, peace and blessings, everybody, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed day. I'm glad to be here with my brother one more time, man.
Facts, man. So we're gonna talk about it, man. That was a track off of Woody Rock's gospel album. What year did that gospel album come out? That was what?
Either 2000 or 2001, I believe, because we recorded in 99.
Okay.
Bunch of red tape and politics. I think it was 2000 or 2001.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Cool. All right. So yeah, man. Let's talk about some things, man. So now, I know this is not really your lane, but the person, I guess the screenwriter for the show, All That. He's in hot water. I believe his name is Dan Snyder, but he's in hot water right now.
He used to be on Head of the Class, remember?
Nah, see now that's before my time.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah, that's before my time.
And you so wise. I be thinking like it'd be hard for me to realize how young you are.
Yeah.
Sometimes the stuff you say, it'd be people that's like older than me that still don't get that stuff. So you're ahead of your time, bro.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, no, it's all good. I didn't know who Dan Snyder was until like I think it was like around 96 or something like that. And
got you.
Yeah, he was on the show, All That. Then I think he was on Good Burger, whatever. But you guys performed on Nickelodeon show All That. Mm-hmm. And you know, it was how was that experience?
Man, it was crazy because like we Kenan and Kel was still on there at that time, and I remember like my only memory is being tired as hell. Like if you watched that whole performance, like the one that we saw that man you was watching,
yeah.
If you saw the whole thing all the way to the end, you'll see me like at one point everybody else was still jumping around. And I just went down like had my hands on my knees and like catching my breath, man, because I was so tired. And then afterwards, Cisco and Kel, Kel, they had a dance battle like behind the scenes or whatever. So like we had fun up there.
Oh, okay. Now I'm gonna play this clip, and it's gonna be a clip of you guys on performing at the show All That. Now,
right.
It's gonna. I'll just play the clip real quick, and then we're gonna come back and talk about it.
Okay, y'all, I found it. I'm gonna talk over this. I'm gonna try to play the music in the back just a little low so they don't take this down. But y'all, look at the kids. What's going on? When I saw this when I was younger, I'm telling you, it never left my mind. I was like, what? Like the song was hot for sure, but for Nickelodeon to put these men on here, had them jumping in the air, Cisco definitely got a couple thongs in his pocket. Okay, look at all this action. Got some silk pajamas on. Y'all see the little kids in the right corner? I told y'all. Why would they have people doing that in front of those kids? Little kids at that. Now, I'm trying to think back. Like, maybe, because I know we didn't heard a lot of inappropriate songs when we were younger. But for Nickelodeon to do that for all that.
All right, so y'all seen that clip. So now the young lady had said in the clip that, you know, she felt that the song "Tell Me" was inappropriate to sing in front of kids, basically, right? But I mean, now as a young guy, because I was young at that time, I really didn't
Right.
notice it. You know what I'm saying? Like I really didn't notice it as well. I didn't notice it either. I ain't gonna lie. Until, you know, I got older. Even when I got older, I still didn't notice it.
You know when I noticed it, and
Yeah,
I'm not going to say the person's name because they probably didn't realize what was going on either. But I saw, you know how like sometimes they say you can't see it when it's you doing it, but
yeah.
then when you step outside and you see somebody else, it was like somebody who had like a really really explicit song, and it was at a one of those for sisters only showcases that they used to have where
Okay.
they travel from city to city and have like hair products and stuff, and then they have artists come and perform. And I was performing some of my gospel, and it was a young R&B singer, and yo had a really really explicit song, and like all the people who came to the front of the stage to see him was little kids, little girls, you know, like the other ladies, I guess he was getting their hair done or whatever, but the little young girls was over there, and yo got the gyrating and grinding and stuff, and I'm like, man, this man must be performing with his eyes closed, yo. He don't know those babies that he up there putting this stuff in
Oh,
front of their faces like
oh
that.
man.
And it was like I tapped my homie that was with me, and we were just looking like, yo, what the world is he doing? But I don't think he meant no harm either, because you know sometimes when people perform, they just be in the zone, whereas though they just shut their eyes. Especially you got on shades. I used to shut my eyes a lot of times, just go up there and just perform.
Do you
But yeah, they definitely, yeah, go ahead.
do you think it was about the check?
Yeah, definitely, definitely, and sometimes not even a check. Like at the time that we was doing what we was doing, a lot of performances were promotional. Like I don't think we got paid to be on that show. It
Yeah.
was more or less promotional because there's like how many people who might not know who you guys are. If you get on a show that has a large following, a large audience like that,
Right.
then that's so many more record sales that come your way. So
Mm.
like certain shows we ain't get. I don't think you get paid to do like Showtime at the Apollo or a lot of those different shows. It's more about you getting seen in front of that audience.
Right,
You get
right,
paid later by the what they call like the Screen Actors Guild and stuff like that. Like the show get repeated,
right,
then you get a check or stuff like that. But like as far as like an actual direct check for going to do TV shows,
right.
I don't think that. Well, I know I ain't get one. I don't know what nobody else got.
Man.
This would be some funny business like that too, but I know I ain't get one for being on there. So we just happy, honestly, you know, like in what they say, ignorance is bliss. At that time, man, we just happy to be there. And they did, to our credit, I will say this to answer the young lady that was on that video. We did change the words. Like we did say different words. Like he said something about the freaky side. He didn't say that. He said something about the sneaky side, which
Mm.
ain't probably too much better because they little
Right.
kids don't got no business sneaking either.
Right,
But we
right,
tried. That's
right,
all I'll say. We tried
right, right, right.
on our end.
Man, so I want to talk about this, man. Like, we have before we got to the interview, you and I talked about the you know, the jewelers, you know, the jewelers
Hmm.
that were involved with the record companies and things of that nature. Like, if you could just please explain to the people, like, a lot of these companies are basically
Hmm.
connected, you know, in the sense of you know, just delivering what the artist needs at that point in time, you know. And then, you know, if you could just break down the aspect of record labels or record deals. Like, all right, you know, today, right, 360 deals are popular.
Hmm.
Now, in your viewpoint, what do you see that's different from a 360 deal and a deal from back then? Like, is there any difference, or is it still, the same, going into this digital era?
I mean, the thing that I see as a difference is that like back in those days, like if you had a record deal, and until you made back whatever money that you were supposed to make off of the record, then you wasn't really getting any more money. So the other things that you could do, like your merchandise and like your, everything else was yours. Like we go on tour and okay, the record hadn't recouped yet, but we went on tour and we made some tour money, made some show money, or maybe sold some T-shirts. It was a time where we had T-shirts, so we would go and take pictures with fans in the front of a drop and stuff on tour and stuff like that. And we could make money that way. But from how I understand it, like the 360 deal, like they cut in on every little part of it.
Mm.
The labels has got to get a piece of all of that, you know.
So
So
you,
that's the biggest difference I see, because that was the one way you could go and make a little bit of money is to go on tour or sell them T-shirts. And even with us, like we would go on tour, but the people that was with us had such an extravagant vision of how we were supposed to be from day one. Like other artists that came out at the same time as us, like say a 112 or Next or somebody like that, they all got cars before we did because like we're going to on the same tours, do the same amount of shows, and they'll come back with a bunch of money talking about, have y'all seen our new house? We'll come back and we ain't make no money because all the money we made we would put back into our show. What they call it, like investing into yourself.
yeah, yeah.
That's what we did, but we invested a little too much. Like we had like explosions on stage. We had dancers. Everybody had a bodyguard. It wasn't even that point yet. It was just a thing. I guess like make you look like you that big. So
Wow.
like a lot of money was spent on that. So really, the only money that, like I said, I can't see what nobody else got, but the only money I would make would be like the little couple dollars from taking the pictures with the fans and the in front of the drop and stuff like that, or selling T-shirts and posters and stuff like that. So if the labels is now getting a part of that, that's insane. And
Man.
going back to the jewelry thing, which you was talking about, like man, I know of labels I've seen where labels have had like deals with the jewelry person, and it'll be certain artists, and they think they like flexing on the record label and stuff like that, and they'll tell them stuff like, "Well, I'm not coming downstairs until a S500 Benz is in front of the hotel. I'm not coming out my room." So they called the company because they had to deal with the car companies, the jewelry companies, and all them different companies. So no problem. Here go the Benz. And then when later on, when you sold all these bunch of records and you wonder where your money is, they tell you, hey, that Benz you driving in, that's your money. Them necklaces you got on, there
Wow.
go your money right there. And
Wow.
even it wasn't even down to like weed. Like they had a guy that used to come to the studio. And I ain't gonna say his name because I don't know nothing
Right.
about statute of limitations and stuff like that. But this guy had a jacket. And I don't know if you remember back in the '90s, it was a big thing. Everybody had these jackets that had like NFL teams, NBA teams. They had like all the patches on it. This guy had every name of every type of weed on his jacket, and like that's when he would come to the studio. Like you call the record company or call your A&R or whatever, and next thing you know, this guy will pull up to the studio with your weed. So like anything you needed, it was they would get somebody to take care of that for you. And it's
Wow.
like the end of the day, you think that it's a flex, but when you do the accounting and you look at your records and wonder why you sold all these records and why you don't have no money in your pocket, that went to a lot of them little perks and stuff that you was getting, you know.
Speaking of perks, these new rappers that are on drugs. So you're saying the record labels are giving these guys a drug budget? That's basically what that is. Is if you want to be technical.
Yeah, man, pretty much. If that's what you
That's
tell them you
crazy.
need to get the record done, or to make whatever the process that you in get done, to make sure that that gets done. If it's to come shoot a video, like people really be trying to hold that over like the label people's heads, like that's something slick. Like I'm not coming down unless you got this for me, or oh man, I ain't feeling so good. I ain't gonna be able to finish this song unless you get me this. They
Wow.
be like, hey, no problem.
Wow.
But then when you looking for your money, then they like, hey, they for your money. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the movie Cadillac Records,
Yeah, yeah,
but that's
yep.
like a throwback movie for real. But it had a lot of that in that. Like a lot of those artists wasn't getting no money to the point where they had to take up like collections and stuff for their burials. But they had
Wow.
them Cadillacs.
Man, yo. That's crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of know, that they do have these, weird stipulations in these contracts in the fine print. But I've never
Hmm.
heard it from somebody that actually signed a contract. So it's kind of crazy that what I'm saying, that says that.
And
So
my dumb tail
yeah, go
ain't
ahead.
even take advantage of the perks. Like I went on my own and bought me a car, whereas though I found out later that everybody else was leasing their cars. Whereas though, like when you lease it,
Right,
you have it for like a certain amount of time, and then when you get tired of it, you can switch it out and go get another one.
right.
I spent all my little dumb money and went and bought me a car. And then
Wow.
when I got tired of it, it wasn't nothing I could be done about it because that was mine. It wasn't. I ain't had no the lease or nothing. Then other people would get jewelry from them, different jewelers and stuff like that. I told myself keep my money in Baltimore. I got my stuff from jewelers, so I ain't even take advantage of the perks. But
Man.
they were there to be taken advantage of. But just I was too slow, and ain't nobody really put me up on game because I was always like the outcast or whatever. Really, some of it by my own doing, and then some of it by other people. Like what they say, people want to see you doing good, but they don't want to see you doing better than them.
Then them, yeah.
So if they got the hookup, they ain't really gonna tell you. You know what I'm saying? It's like certain people that was more cool with the record company execs. And
Yeah.
then it was just me that was just in my own little world. So I didn't even know about a lot of this stuff until later, or I knew it, and like you don't put two and two together, and then one day when you hear something, you think, so that's why that happened.
Right, right.
That's why yo had that, and why this and that. Yeah, so that's basically how it happened for me. Can
Man.
I answer this
Sh-
brother in
yeah,
the
sure,
comments,
sure. Go
man?
ahead, go
He
ahead.
say this man paid $10 to say why would he wear a kufi but make Christian albums? Listen, bro. At the time I made that gospel album, man, I didn't like really. I talked to Jay about that the other day. I ain't know nothing.
Yeah.
I ain't know nothing about nothing. And a kufi is not only for Muslims or people that practice Islam. It's an Eastern thing.
Right,
So
right,
Hebrews and people that practice Islam both have their roots over in on the eastern side. So
right.
I'm Hebrew, and
Okay.
at the time, this that picture is like goodness. That picture was taken in like 2007. At
Oh,
that
okay,
time,
okay.
I did wear my kufi because I was just coming into the knowledge of like who I was and everything according to the Bible.
Right.
So I had that on, and I had a Bible. He not the first person that said that either. It was the guy that said that on my Facebook when I first posted it when I first took it.
Yeah.
That said the same thing. I tell him the same thing, and even the guy that said asked me was I funny because I had on white sunglasses. I'm like,
What?
yo, what type
That
of
doesn't mean
thing
you.
constitutes being funny to you?
Yeah.
I thought being funny is because you take something from somebody else into a part of yours where according to how I believe it don't belong at, but other
Right.
people might beg to differ. I thought that's what make you funny, but somebody said you funny because you got on white sunglasses. So I
Yeah.
don't
See,
know, man.
I don't. I don't know
That
this.
picture gave me some funny conversations over the years.
I don't know. I don't know the significance of the white sunglasses, but I do see a lot of people wear it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I was just trying to match my outfit, man. I
Yeah.
used to do
Yeah.
stylist work. Like I used to actually like even after I left the group, I did their clothes and stuff for a while.
Okay.
So I just consider myself a pretty fashionable guy. So I just used to like to put outfits together. So that's all I was trying to do. But sometimes you do find out things. Like I didn't know last time we talked. I hit you and asked you, and I asked brother Unplug him, and he answered me back too because like I didn't know the significance of red, white, and black.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so it's like certain things. Like as much as I can say that I do know now,
Right.
it's still a whole bunch that I don't know. I'm humble enough to say that I learn something new every day. I try to learn something new every day. So
Absolutely.
we all
Absolutely.
learning as we go along.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, one of your group members, previous group members, the leader, right? He said that he hated the song "In My Bed." He didn't like it at first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the lead singer. He said he didn't like
Mhm.
that song at first. Now, um, I don't really remember the video, but then I did remember that it was two girls in a bed. Like, what was that? What was that about? Like, what was that about?
Like we just talked about, that was the video that for the urban side, for the black side, that ushered in the whole making it cool for the whole two girls thing cool. Because after that, you had different people come out with songs. What's the guy, Red Lavender, say, my girl got a girlfriend. He came out with that, and different people. The lady was twisted. The love of a man will do. I don't remember who sung that, but like after that, it became like a thing for people to
Wow.
sing about that and to push that up. But like when our label president came to us with the concept for the video, he told us that that's what was going to be in it. And we was just like, we just went along with it. I don't know how I can't say how everybody felt, but I just know it wasn't gonna be. I wasn't gonna be the one to get to go in there and chill with a few girls, so it really wasn't nothing. I didn't have no opinion about it at the time. But looking back on it now, like I see what was going on, because like I said, the same week Ellen, the same week our video premiered on the urban side, Ellen came out with her when she had her sitcom, and they had a scene with two girls doing their thing, her and another girl kissing and whatever with each other. So it was
Agendas.
just something to exactly to popularize that and make that fashionable. Whereas though people had been doing it for years, but it wasn't, like nobody
Right.
like championed it like that.
Now
And as
you,
far as him not liking the song,
yeah.
it was he didn't like the song because of the not because it wasn't a good song, but because the guy who wrote it did the demo, and he has a great voice. Like I heard him on other stuff, like a song of his saved on my phone to this day. That's dope.
Yeah.
But for that particular song, his vocal performance was not the best. So it's like when you hear the demo of a song, like that this you're a producer, so
Right.
when somebody demo up a song, you got to get them to put their best foot forward because when the people hear the song and they want to record it, and like you got to make it something that they would want to record unless they had like great vision and know that it could be a best great song despite the singing.
Right.
But the guy that was singing it just ain't sound good on the demo. So like wasn't just us, it was like 112 passed up on it. Um oh bunch of they named a bunch of different artists that passed up on it for that same reason they just couldn't hear it. That it was a hit. But the president of the label, he just had that vision. I guess he heard old boy voice on it, and like, well, with you on it, it'll be a hit.
Right.
So he convinced them to sing it. But yeah, with the video, that was definitely the idea of the label once again, like the president of the label. That was his
Leo,
idea. He just
was it
had
Leo
no, not
stinking?
Leo.
Oh,
No, he wasn't
okay.
with Leo for the first album. We were with Island Black Music, the same guy that you asked me about last time. That was like,
Okay,
I
okay.
was making chocolate.
Okay,
It
okay.
was
That
him. He
all
was the
right.
president of the label, Island Black Music.
Okay, okay,
That
okay.
was his idea.
Now he also said, the lead singer, he also said that he cursed out Leo Cohen and got blacklisted. Do you feel like that resulted in everybody being blacklisted as far as when it came to the group, or that was before, or did that happen after you left?
That happened after I left. His whole blacklisting, and it's a Baltimore thing. Baltimore did some. I don't know. Y'all say The Wire and all the other shows that relate to Baltimore. Baltimore did some niggas.
Yeah.
Everybody that ever came out from Baltimore ended up like like for the most part, a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people that came from Baltimore ended up losing their deals because they was too real for them labels and stuff. And like people thought because they had like a certain title or whatever that they could talk to you any kind of way or they could treat you any kind of way. And people from Baltimore is just them people to be like, nah, you know, fuck you ain't.
Right, right, right.
To our detriment a lot of the time. Like I ain't saying it like it's like a great thing. Like, yeah, we did that and now this. But that was his whole thing. Like he was just too real for them. Like he would want his own rappers and stuff on songs, whereas though they would want a known rapper on the song. He's like, man, my cousin can rap just as good as that person. So my cousin going on my stuff. My
Right.
people's going on this or whatever the case may be. And he just kept it real with them. But no, that's why he was in the situation he was in. I was actually in the situation that I was in because of another member of the group. Like you know how they say like each family have a scapegoat.
Right, right.
And I think I explained it to you last time where it's though like if everybody can do something, like everybody can sing, and it's one person that don't really have like a particular talent, so to speak. As long as they keep one other person with them, then they all right. But if they see everybody else flourishing and everybody else shining, and they not doing nothing, they know the question gonna come some point. Well, why y'all got him for? If y'all get
Yeah.
look, he can sing, he can sing, he can sing. Why he here? You know.
Right.
So basically, the person, and they actually admitted it to me, like after my gospel album came out and didn't do anything. when I got back to the label, I mean, I had signed in order for me to be able to leave to do my gospel project, I had to sign a contract that said that I would return back for a third album with the group. So we were in Jamaica where we recorded a lot of the third album, and we were walking on across the beach. And this guy admitted it to me. Like, I don't know if he thought I was supposed to be happy with it or because it was time passed or whatever, it was cool. He was like, yo, I'm the one that held your album up, yo. I'm the one that told him don't let you go, yo.
What?
Because I was scared you wasn't going to come back to us.
Yeah,
And
but
the same thing happened with Jazz's album also. Like Jazz had a project. He had a song with Jill Scott
yeah,
on the Nutty Professor soundtrack that was dope. He had like another song on another soundtrack that was really good. Jazz actually had Crazy by Music Soul Child. He recorded it first. That was one of his songs also. But
wow,
like he stopped Jazz's project, stopped my project. Like the only how I felt about us, I wanted us to be like the new edition. Like you know how they did, and everybody went and did their solo projects
right,
and getting their respect as individuals, and then they came back, and that made the group that much stronger. Like you go
right,
to a New Edition show now, you get to hear BBD, you get to hear Bobby Brown, you get to hear Ralph Tresvant, Sensitivity, and his songs, you know, and you get to hear all of that, and it's all together. But in our thing, it was like once the lead guy went out and did his thing, and everybody was like, all right, now it's time for everybody just to get back together. Like, hold up, the whole plan was supposed to be, and I hate to admit this name, I think we talked about it last time, but the whole name that they called it was supposed to be the True World Order. And that's before,
mm-hmm.
like I said, I ain't know nothing back then, so I just thought it sounded slick because it rhymed with the real word. I ain't know what no New World Order was. I knew it from wrestling,
Right,
but
right,
because Hulk Hogan and them. But I was like, oh, that sounds like Hulk Hogan and them. I'm a wrestling fan, so that sounds slick to me. But the whole purpose of the quote unquote True World Order was supposed to be so that people could see what each person brought to the table as an individual, and then come back and make the whole unit stronger.
mm,
But somebody had other plans, and I know that one person was the one that held my project up. I mean,
wow,
I don't know who held Jazz up. I guess after the leader's second album didn't do as well as the first, then what you call was like, oh, we can ready to go back to what we know works, the label. We gotta go back to what we know work. We know the group will work. So then they basically like show. I guess that's what happened to Jazz is. I'll let him speak on it. That ain't really my story to tell, but for
man,
me, my stuff was because of a particular member that they didn't want to be left by itself. Like, oh, what? I mean, this one got an album, it's great. This one over here, because we was all working in the same studio even after I left the group. We had the Hit Factory. No, it was two Hit Factories. I think it was the oldest one up in New York. And we were all working all in the Hit Factory. We all had our own floors.
man,
I had
yo,
a little floor to do my gospel album. They had different floors. We would go in each other's rooms and listen to stuff. That's how the song you played. That's how Case got on my project because he was actually in the room with the producer, the other member. He was in the room working with him. They close and they work on stuff together.
right,
And he and I just got in a conversation about Jodeci one day, and he was singing. He started singing. I was like, yo, you should do a song with me. And that's how that song came about. But yeah,
man,
that's how I was like, listen, I was still, I was watching Drake Champs last night with MC Shan.
yeah,
And Yo said it was so funny and I could so relatable. He was like it was a rapper. I ain't gonna say his name. He said his name, but it ain't my place, so I don't know that man. But he was like that it was a new up and coming rapper, and MC Shan just happened to be in the neighborhood when they was shooting some pictures with him because he had came home.
yeah,
And they said, oh, let's get a picture with you and MC Shan. And Yo was like, hey, no disrespect, OG. I respect you. I respect what you did in the game, but you know, MC Shan kind of had a mouth on him, and he basically spoke his mind. Same way we was talking about how Baltimore people, Queensbridge people, same way. Like he spoke his mind about the things ain't like in the industry, so therefore he had a little thing on his name. And he said the guy refused to take a picture with him. He said, no disrespect to you, OG, but I need this right now. So he refused to have his picture taken with him. And that's how it be with me sometimes because certain people that influential, they cool with everybody in the industry and stuff like that. So because they cool with this person, then they won't do stuff with you.
favoritism,
Or they
favoritism,
don't want to be seen around you. Not even favoritism, they scared. You know, like it's cliques. Everybody clicked up. So if this person part the clique, even if they like your talent or whatever, or they like you secretly, like they come and give you messages in your DMs and stuff like that to show you a lot of love privately. But when it come time to be out in front of the public, then they won't act like they don't know you.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
if you're a nerd and you might smash one of the baddest girls in school, but then when you try to speak to her, like you just so happy y'all was somewhere and you talked her out of her panties or whatever, and then when y'all get back in school, she don't want everybody to know she know you, but behind doors she might let you come back over a couple more times, but she ain't try to be seen with you in public
Yeah, it
because it's
happened.
gonna do something bad for her public reputation. You see what I'm saying?
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you your opinion. Do you still make music today or no?
I do.
Okay.
It's Hebrew based music. Like me and some my brothers, the Shadows. We got some stuff out on SoundCloud. I was just listening to. I'm gonna send you something when we get off.
Okay,
I
most
was actually
definitely.
just listening to something that we did earlier today, just because of some of the lyrical content
Okay.
related to something that I was going through. But yeah, I make music, but it's mostly like just like Bible based,
Okay.
not Christian music per se, because I'm Hebrew, but it's just like based off the Bible, like current events, like
Okay.
music about what's going on in the world right now and stuff like that.
Yeah, tell the people where they could find that at, man. Where can they
Oh
find it?
yeah, definitely. Go to SoundCloud and type in the Shadows, THASHADOZ. We have like a couple mixtapes that are out on there, and we got one or two videos. You can go to YouTube and type in the same thing. Type in
Okay.
the Shadows and Woody Rock, and
Okay.
you'll see a couple of joints from there.
Now let me ask you this: in your opinion, the R&B scene, I'm gonna talk about this. The R&B scene is horrible
Hmm,
today. You have women that are making music about getting cheated on, cheating on men. It's terrible.
it is.
Now, when you guys were making music, y'all spoke about the connection and bringing people together. What do you think is the difference, or not even the difference, but where do you think R&B fell short at? Like what caused it to be um as tarnished as it is today, if that makes sense.
I believe it's by design. I believe that it's the people in charge want it to be exactly the way that it is.
Mm.
Because I'm gonna put it this way: they had artists back in the day. We had artists like Whitney Houston and like real soulful singers and stuff like that. And I remember seeing an interview where Whitney Houston was like, "I'm not taking my clothes off because I know how to sing for real."
Right.
You know.
Right.
So, and there was so many people that refused to do certain things, degrading things, or push certain agendas and stuff, or even push an agenda, period, because of the fact that they had true talent. So there came a point where the label started signing people who didn't have any real talent, and so that they could push these agendas because they like this would go and say they ain't doing it because they could sing. So they started signing people with little to no talent, so that because the main thing is that they want these agendas pushed. You
Mm.
know, so I
Yeah.
remember like it was a guy who used to sing in the camp that I was in. Like they came in later on to the guy he replaced me when I left, and he came up to the label because Jazz used to have him as an artist. And when Jazz brought him to the art, like this guy can hit like any note. Like his range is like from all the way down in the basement bass to all the way up at the top, like a lady high notes, but all of his natural voice. And when Jazz brought him to the label, he sound like Jodeci all by himself, like the whole group of Jodeci by himself, as far as vocally, like he did all that.
Right.
And when he came to the label, instead of them saying, "Wow, we got somebody that's like a one of a kind talent," somebody that like we nobody would be able to find nobody to match him, they said to him, "He sang too good."
Mm.
And that blew my mind. Like, how can somebody sing too good? I thought that was the goal to be the best. They say you sing too good. So then shortly after that, you started seeing people with little to no talent. Like it's a group. And I'll say it to you when we get off this phone, but I won't say it on
Right.
here because it might be people that's fans of them or whatever be like, oh, he hating. That's a hate that shit to say.
Right.
But I believe when certain groups came in and showed that all you had to do was be able to dance and pull up your shirt and have some abs, then that's when the whole thing started going to the dogs, because like people realized that I don't have to be able to sing no more to be a singer. All I gotta do is know how to dance. And I
Wow.
can do enough on a track, or do whatever and have somebody else come in and enhance the vocals and do whatever to the vocals. As long as my dancing is good and as long as I'm good looking, then that's all we need. And then as far as the messages, like you were saying, with like all this stuff that these ladies is talking about now, in both R&B and hip hop, it's like that's the messages that they want because it's division. And
Mm.
ultimately, I hope I'm not saying too much, but it's population control.
Right, right,
Because like a lot of these women, the stuff they saying is just making them just like unsufferable that a guy just don't want to be around them. Period.
right.
Feeling like that, having them mentalities and talking like that. And I'm sure it's some stuff the guys are saying that's making women not want to be around them. Period. I only can speak from the guy
Yeah,
perspective
no.
because I'm a guy, but
Right, you right.
it's all about design. Say it again.
You right, you right.
Yeah, so it's less like to push everybody further away from each other rather than bringing everybody together. You got Drake, go ahead, you got to be. And even guys feeding into the female thing to push the female, you got to be nice for what to these niggas. It's
Right.
just so the same people that just cheering and jumping up and down when Drake say being nice for what to these niggas, these are the same women that come over and talk about the black woman is the most unprotected person in society. So if I'm not good enough for you just to speak to when I walk past you, just on a regular day on the humble, I'm on my way to work or whatever, and I walk past you and I say, "How you doing? Good morning," or whatever. Get out of here, nigga. Fuck out of
Right.
here. He talking to me for. But then if I see somebody 2 seconds later come up to you and try to do you harm, I'm supposed to come up and put my life on the line for somebody who I wasn't even good enough to be spoken to.
Makes no
you
sense.
know,
Makes no sense.
what Monique say, make it make sense. So it's
Right.
like it's all by design, man. They want everybody at each other's throat. And then it is people, I will say this, it is people and artists who make great music, but they never get that mainstream push. They don't want them doing that. And if they do, you start seeing them start doing stuff and you get scared. Like my favorite artists are always underground. And then when I start seeing them, like the guys start dyeing their hair funny colors and start painting their fingernails black and all that stuff. Oh shit.
Man.
Oh boy, we lost another
You
one.
know your boy.
you
You know
know?
your boy. Did your boy start that? I think your boy started that.
So what?
The dye in the
The
hair.
hair?
Yeah. I think he started that.
He was. I mean, Dennis Rodman. And then
Okay,
as far
Dennis
as like
Rodman. Yeah.
singers, it was a group called the Holland Place Mobsters that Dallas Austin bought out,
What
but they
year was
weren't
that?
as
What year was
popular. But
that?
as far as like the most popular person to do it, he did that. But
Okay.
he did that because you remember the movie Meteor Man?
Yes. Yes.
That movie was a lot of that movie was shot here in Baltimore, and one
Oh,
of
I
the
didn't know
other
that.
members' cousin was extra in that movie. So he sung too. So he would come over to our practices. So when they saw him with that, then the whole group actually at one point in time had their hair like that. But he was the only one that kept it.
Wow, I didn't know
I
that.
didn't have it because my mom, like I said on our last talk, my mom took me out the group because he wasn't singing gospel music. So
Right.
during
Right.
that time, that's when they had it. But I would take a little. I would take the spray dye that
Yeah.
you can get from like the beauty shops and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would take and spray a little streak up the front of my head like Kwame, just
Oh,
so everybody
Kwame.
would know like when they come up to the school and stuff like that. Because a lot of times they'd come back up and check on me.
Yeah.
Like they always had a plan to get me back in the group, so they would come up and play me music they did, and we'd sing around and harmonize and stuff like that. So on the days that I knew they was coming up, I'd take the little spray dye and spray a little bit in my front of my face, and then just go in the bathroom and wash it out by the time when my dad come pick me up.
Man, yo.
But no, all of them had it, and he was the only one that kept it. And then when the label, they actually didn't want his hair like that, so he shaved his head bald. And on that first video, that's basically his scalp because he dyed it the night before the video shoot.
They told him to
He's
cut
like,
his
hey,
hair?
yeah, they told him he couldn't have it. They was like, this is just weird or whatever. Like they wasn't a fan of it. And the night before we went up there to shoot the video for Tell Me, he dyed his hair. He's just like, yo, don't tell nobody. He showed all of us. He had like a hood and stuff on, stocking cap. He said, don't tell nobody. So that he pulled his stocking cap off on the set of the video. And they just spent all this money. They're not going to reschedule or do
Wow.
nothing. So that's how he basically got through to do that.
Do you think R&B could go back to how it was before, in your opinion?
The only way would be for the people to stop following, and then what people do, which is called groupthink. The first person I ever heard say the name for it was Erica Badu, so I give her the credit, but somebody probably said it before her, but that's the first person I heard say it.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks like the crowd, so even if people don't like something themselves, they would still go along with it because that's what's popular. So
Right.
it's like if people would stop listening to the stuff that they agree that they don't like or that they agree is bullshit, but then the next thing you know, they turn around and listen to it. It's like, what are you, like, but if people would stick together and like, yeah, we ain't listening to that, then they would have no choice but to bring forth some stuff that people really want or make it the mainstream because the artist is out here. I got playlists upon playlists on I got YouTube music. I got playlists upon playlists of people that make great music, but nobody never heard of it. The only way that somebody would hear of it is if I send somebody something like, oh, you ever hear this? Or I got people that send me stuff. So the music and the artist is out there, but who get pushed is the ones that's about the BS. So it's like if people would look a little deeper than what's on the surface and start supporting some of these artists that's not so mainstream, then and all these artists that's in the mainstream would start falling, then they would have to do something different.
Right.
But until that happens, as long as we keep settling for it, like being in a relationship and somebody just giving you bare minimum, bare minimum, bare minimum. What they call it, a lot of guys be on the dating videos and stuff. They be talking about sexless marriages and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
As long as all you do is just suck your teeth, all
Yep.
right, then,
Yep.
and roll back over,
Yep.
then she gonna keep doing it.
That's
But if you
true.
like, hey, we going there, I'm gonna need sign these papers or whatever. I'm about to get out of here. You feel this? All right, all right, all right. What you need? What you need? What I gotta do?
Yep.
And I'm sure the ladies would say whatever on their side. But like I said, I only can speak as a man because I'm a man. But like as long as people keep taking whatever it is that's being served to them, then they're gonna keep serving it just like a restaurant. Oh, if you keep coming, you complaining, but you still here.
Yeah.
It's when people start seeking out on their own and start seeking out really good music and the stuff that sounds quality, like the stuff that used to sound like back in the day, and they ain't gonna have no choice but to provide that because they know that's what people like. But if they know we can get you to accept anything, they gonna keep giving everybody everything.
Man, listen, let me tell you something. I look at it and what you said is so crazy because I see a lot of underground artists that are better than mainstream artists, right? And
Exactly.
back then, like I say early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, up until I say the maybe the beginning of the early 2000s. It was more of, you had to put your footwork in to go and get a deal, right?
Mhm.
Now it's
Mhm.
more digital. It's more in the digital aspect. So you have like artists out there that are putting out music consistently. I saw a guy,
Yeah.
African guy, he's got a YouTube channel. He was like, I'm gonna keep making music once a week until I get famous. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
and people are doing
Mhm.
these challenges now to see, if they can become famous. But my thing is that what do you think is preventing an underground artist from getting heard via back then in those days? Because you had a lot of eccentric artists, that spoke positive messages back then. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And they would still get record deals. They may not have sold a lot of records, but they still were able to get record deals. Why do you think, in your opinion, why do you think a lot of these artists nowadays are being suppressed by in the sense because it's the internet is available to anybody.
Right.
So how do you think that the labels actually get a hold of these artists to push them, in your opinion?
And but they say everybody knows somebody that
Yeah.
knows somebody.
Yeah.
Like people getting their connections and stuff on like that. A lot of stuff is a lot more about relationships than
Mm,
it is about actual talent. You know.
wow.
So if this your cousin or this your homie or whoever like that, or sometimes like people go viral online or people get a lot of views and stuff like that online, and they come to the attention of a label or whatever. And they can look at their stuff, look at their content, listen to their, like the fact that everything is online now. It's just like job hiring. Your job can get on your social media and see what you're talking about. It's like, oh no, we don't want him here. you know?
Right. Right.
And this one they was like, oh yeah, we do want this one here. Oh, this one ready, they ready to do everything we want them to do.
Right.
That's exactly the kind we looking for. So that's who you gonna go with, the one that's definitely gonna be less problematic, gonna do what they told to do. I mean, some people that slip through the cracks, that pretend to be one way, and then once they get where they need to be, then they just let it all hang out and say what they got to say. But a lot of people is just who they are all the time, and sometimes that's to their own detriment. You
Right,
know, I'm
right.
not saying they're wrong, but I'm saying it's to their detriment because it makes it a little harder to get where you're trying to go when they already know you against everything that they would want you to be for in order for you to be successful. And
Yeah.
nope, I'm not talking about this. I think this is whack. I'm not with that. Oh nah,
So
they'll mess
it's
with you.
so it's like
They'll
a
be messing around and shadow ban your stuff online so ain't no that many other people will see you deeper.
wow.
Like me.
Man. Man, they saying in the chat, they saying the doors is nasty work. Now, what's your opinion on? I hear a lot of people speaking on the doors. Nori spoke on the doors. Um, Enes, who was a battle rapper, also he was with making the band. What's your
Cool
thoughts
guy,
on?
man.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on this door situation? I spoke about it before, but
Yeah,
I would like for the people to know about as far as when it comes to these doors that people speak about.
man. I can't say that I have experienced it personally, me myself, but there's a video. What's his name? Dougie Diamonds did a video where he had the guy on there. What's that rapper? I asked you him last time and I forgot him
Oh,
again.
yeah,
He's
Ali Vegas. Yeah, shout out to
Ali
Ali
Vegas.
Vegas.
The way he broke it down in that video, I saw that firsthand.
Right,
Whereas though with the stylists, where they get you to wear like funny stuff, and they see who have the aversion to it, and they see who's all for it and stuff like that. And then them people start getting invited to parties and stuff like that, and then you start seeing things going up, up, and up for that person
right.
or those people. Whereas though the ones who ain't with it or might show a little bit of hesitancy and stuff like that, they ain't going nowhere. And I know all I can say, I can't say the other side of it, but all I can say is I didn't go through none of them doors, and I'm home. I'm home.
Right, right,
I go to work every day, and I
right,
ain't got no gas in it. I live in very, very regular. A
right,
lot of y'all sitting there listening to me right now is living better than me. I mean, but at the same time, I'm very content
right.
with where I am because it was my own doing. You know, like I want to be able to look at myself in the mirror. Whereas though I heard a buddy of mine knows a certain celebrity couple, and he was like, this couple got all the mirrors removed out their house because they
Wow.
can't stand to look at themselves in the mirror because of some of the stuff that they know they've done to accomplish some of the things that they've accomplished. So the fact that I still got mirrors in my little place, my little box, and I can stand to look at myself because I know I ain't do nothing crazy and achieve no success, I'd rather be able to have myself and to be able to have my conscience intact and my soul intact and everything else intact, like Kate Williams was talking about, than to be super successful and be ashamed of myself at night and can't even sleep thinking about having flashbacks and nightmares, things that I might have done to get to that point.
To
You
that
know what I'm
point.
saying?
Right, right. I know exactly what you mean. So now I want to talk about the process. I mean, I know your gospel album is old and you're doing new things, but I want to talk about the process of recording it. Like, I know you worked with people like Freddie, what they call him, Uncle Freddie or Freddie Jerkins.
Yeah, Rodney Brother.
Yeah, Rodney's brother, Mary.
Mm-hmm.
How was the process working and creating that, and how did you get into that lane of creating that gospel album, which is called soul music, by the way?
Yes, sir. Well, when I left the group, they did a press conference
Okay.
for like for everybody, and it was like all the group members was there, and they had a fan who was said she felt better by the thing that Jazz did on the album when he did that video, Never Make a Promise, with the girl being abused or whatever. So like she wrote a letter that she was touched by that and she didn't harm herself because she saw that or whatever. But she was there and I announced at that meeting that I wasn't going to be part of the group anymore. So after that, Lior came up to me and was like, I don't know. I know you don't want to be in the music, Drew Hill business anymore, but we still want to be in the Woody Rock business. So they gassed me up, pumped me up for real, BSing me for real. But they agreed to give me a solo deal to do my gospel music.
Okay, so
And the
that was
way that
on.
Murray and Warren Campbell they got involved through Warren Campbell
Mm,
because he was who I did my song Angel with for the second Drew Hill album, my solo song, because I had a solo song on each album. So he was the guy who produced that song with me, and so I requested him to be a part of my gospel album, like basically like be there for the whole process. So he brought down Mary Mary, which his wife now is Erica, but she was his girlfriend at the time, and her sister Tina. And they weren't even out yet. They didn't even have a record out at that time. They were background singing for Eric Benet and I think a couple other artists. I know Eric Benet for sure. Because one time we was in the studio and they everybody shut down for like a half hour to watch them perform with him on that BT show called All They used to come on. So at that time they was like unsigned artists. They just some cool girls that love the Lord for real. So they co-wrote a couple songs with me. I brought a bunch of people up from Baltimore. This is another lesson 101 about knowing the business. I just wanted to create a creative environment. So I just brought everybody up who's featured on my album. Like if you look at my album, it almost looks like a compilation album because there's somebody on every song with me. Right. There's people everybody know or people everybody don't know. Mary Mary was some of the most famous, and then I had Case on the song that you just played. My old group did a song with me. A gospel rapper by the name of BBJ who used to sound like Biggie. They used to call him the Pentecostal Papa. There's a bunch of people on the album, but for the most part, I brought everybody up to New York, paid for everybody to stay up there. Everybody would come to the studio like whenever everybody was hungry. Instead of going to get some food on the way to the studio, they'd come up to the studio and just charge the food to my budget and stuff to the point where as though my budget like ran out. And from what I heard, and that's another thing, I ain't know nothing about the business. So I wasn't asking no questions or nothing like that. I just like, hey, you can afford to do it, so I just did it. So they told me that my budget ran out and we had to reforecast. And the whole time they wasn't planning on bringing the record out. They was just appeasing me and hoping that in that time that I would make the decision to come back to the group. Wow. So there was no plans for my album to actually come out. So when I kept complaining about it not coming out after it was completed, then they actually let me do a deal over at the gospel label where Kirk Franklin is was called Gospel Centric. And they had an understanding too that they wasn't going to do so much to bring it out, but they just moved me around, just try to make somebody happy a little bit just to shut my mouth for real. Right. So they put me over there and it finally came out because I just complained and complained. I let it be known that I was not coming back to the group until my album came out because that's the whole deal that I signed anyway because people be like, oh, you flip-flop. You said you was going gospel, but then you was right back with the group on the next album they did. No, that was the deal I signed in order for me to be able to go and do the album. I had to go over and I had to sign that. So then when they released me, I had to they made me be in the Thong Song video to be able to do my gospel album. What? And don't make no sense. Yeah, I had an idea. Remember the little part in the beginning where his daughter showed the underwears and stuff like that? Yeah, yeah. That was like controversial. They was like, oh yeah, his daughter showed underwear. I had a whole thing for the beginning of the video. I was like, that'll be the perfect send-off for me and me giving y'all my blessing because at the time I ain't had no animosity towards them. Like, I want y'all to rock, but this is not for me no more. Right. So I was like, won't y'all make it like y'all calling me? And I could be like, nah, fellas, I'm going to have to sit this one out. And y'all boys had fun. And I said, that could be the beginning of the video. When I slammed the phone down, they'd be like, hey, suck for them. They all go ahead out there to all the cheeks and the titties. You know? Man. Like, no, I don't think that's good. So they made me come to the video. I mean, you only see me in like one little scene. Standing up on the little dock, me and Jazz, looking down at all the ass and the titties and stuff. But it's so crazy how they persuade. It's so crazy how they persuade artists, you know, through contracts to basically, you know, it's a form of manipulation because if you want to, you know, void out your contract, you should be able to, and you know, break those obligations. Some people don't agree with it, but the fact that, you know, to make you come back and do that scene and that song, knowing that, you know, you was focused on the gospel. It just kind of, it's kind of strange. To make me, you know, like, we know you want to do this, but this is what we want you to do, and this is what you're going to do. So that's what they basically try to, like, starve you out, make you wait out. It was times, like, 2, 3 years in a row where I wasn't getting sent no money. Like I said, that record got bought out in got done in 1999. Right. It didn't come out till, like, the end of 2000 or beginning of 2001. Maybe 2002. So it's like, during that time, I wasn't getting no money from them. I wasn't getting no nothing. And then the label I went to, they didn't promote that album. They put it out, but that was all they did. I got no video. Somebody told me they seen one commercial on BET, but I ain't never seen no commercial. It was people when I went back to do the group for the third album. People was like, "I thought you was doing a gospel album. When is it coming out?" I'm like, "Man, this album been out for like at least a year now." So it was no promotion. It was just basically everything was done to make me have no choice but to come back to the group.
Was
And they did
that
the same with Jazz because they were supposed to bring out an album with him. That's how we ended up with 5 people in the group the last time.
right?
Because Jazz wasn't going through. Jazz said he saw me take a stand, so he was like, "Well, I ain't coming back until my album come out," which was rightfully so because that was the original plan. But then they basically replaced him with a new member, and then we went up and I'm complicit. You know, like I said, looking back on some stuff I could have did differently too. I was complicit. I was along with them for to do this new album or whatever, and they was like it was coming out anyway. And so then Leo was like, "Nope, it ain't coming out without Jazz." So then they promised Jazz that his song was going to be on the single, on the B side of the single release with whatever our single came out with, which didn't happen. And that's how they got him back in the group. And then I
Man,
stood up for the new member because they was like, "Oh, now that we got our original members, we don't need this new guy." I'm like, "Nope, this man gave his whole summer and did all this work with us. So if he ain't ready to be back, then I'm not about to be back neither." So then we came out with 5 people.
wow, man, yo, I ain't gonna lie. It's like a one big scam. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is. It's like it's bad when it's the record company against you, but then when it's people that's supposed to be on your side that's against you too, you like, well, damn. Like I
Right,
thought we was cool.
right.
I said, the guy said, if y'all guys focus on the singing and make sure we good on the singing tip, I'm gonna make sure we good on the business tip. And what happened? We made sure everybody was good on the singing tip, but then when it came to the business, he made sure he was good on the business tip. He said, if you get everybody else to sign their publishing away, you can keep yours.
Man,
Everybody else ain't had their publishing. Yeah, it is.
wow.
So, yeah, man, that's why after a while, I just like, man, I'm over it. And then it's always people, what they say, people don't care about what's right. People care about who they like. So it's like if somebody think this person cute or handsome or whatever, then they don't care what they do to the other guy, Or they might
Right.
say, "Oh, that's messed up." I seen somebody say because I did a interview like like 2 3 hour interview that was broken up into parts
Yeah.
with a buddy of mine. Got a lot of views and stuff online, and somebody was like, "Oh my goodness, that is so sad. I see why he wouldn't want nothing to do with none of that no more." But then in the next line, they said, "Well, you don't think he could just give us one more album?" It's just like that meme when the girl is a girl that she announced that she broke up with her guy or whatever. Like my boyfriend broke up with me this morning, but she's a hairdresser and one of her clients is like, "Girl, you still got me for the night though, don't you?"
Yo.
Like that's messed up. I'm sorry he left you, but you still got it. It's like people just care about what they want. They don't
Right.
care about what they forget that artists are humans
Right.
and they don't care about what they have to go through to put an album. I had so many people, and I'm sure I know you done heard it over the years. When Murray would bring out an album, and they'd be like, "Oh, I like it, but I just wish she'd go through something else so she could give us enough of my life."
Yeah.
Like, what are
Yeah.
you saying, though? Like, you
Yeah.
want this lady to life to be a turmoil and hell so she could give us some good music? Come on, now.
It's sad though, but that's where the pain come from. That's what they say. The pain come from
Yeah,
experiences. You
right.
know.
That's true. But good gracious, like, man, if I'm gonna keep getting something in my happiness, then hey, I ain't the artist for you. Because I
Right.
don't want to be miserable just so I can make you music.
Right. Right. That's true, man.
It's things that I'm willing to be miserable for. It's things that I have been miserable for. Like I wake up suffering with some certain stuff, and I wouldn't change it because of the fact that I am standing for something. But
Right.
it's like the music ain't one of them things, man. I
Yeah.
love it. I enjoy it. It's in me. Like I love to go to karaoke and just do stuff for fun, or just make some music with my homies or whatever, just for the fun of it and for the love. And if something do come out of it, then yeah. But if it don't, then hey, I had a good time.
Right.
But it's like to go through certain things. It's just certain things I'm not willing to do just for the sake of making some music, or even for the sake of having a quote unquote better life. Because who gets to say what's a good life for each person?
That's
You
true.
know,
That's
there's
true.
people that got way less than even me. That's happier than I am. Like hey, somebody was talking. Wasn't that you that was talking? That was you yesterday that was talking about like a lot of the homeless people
Yeah.
and saying that like a lot of the homeless people could get help if they wanted to, but it's like the things that they would have to conform to in order to get that help, they're not willing to do. You
Right,
know,
right.
they might be a person that don't like living with people. So shit, I'd rather have my little tent. Not me, but they're thinking like, hey, I'd rather be cool in my little tent underneath the bridge by myself, and I ain't got to hear nobody nagging me, nobody telling me what time to get up, none of that shit.
Yep.
And I'll find something to eat rather than to go in this place that everybody else would think is better, but it's not better for me because it don't go by what I like or by my rules or how I want to live. You know,
That's a fact.
people don't have no integrity, and people don't accept people's what they call self autonomy.
Right,
You
right.
know, like, and people don't understand that people want everybody to do what they would do in a situation. And if you
Yeah.
don't do what they would do, then you stupid or you dumb or you need help. You know,
Right, right.
when the whole time a lot of people that people be advocating for would be the people that really need help
That's
because they're
true.
not doing the sick things that they do to other people
That's true.
and
All right,
feel
so
like they
you
own them.
you want to give the people one that we've been on for an hour. You want to give the people some words of advice before we head out?
Man, yep, same thing I said last time, man. Keep the Most High first. Learn as much as you can learn about Him. If you go to church, that's beautiful, but read that book yourself. You know what I'm saying? Too, along with you going or what I ain't telling nobody to stop going. That's not my place to tell nobody to do.
Right.
But read that book for yourself and any books that you can get your hands on about what you into. Find out as much. Well, even you don't even gotta open up no book. Sometimes you can go online, like find out as much information about what you are about and learn it. And like with that picture, I'm gonna go back to that picture again. I turned my screen down because I'm not messing with nobody. But
Yeah.
it's like it's okay to make changes, man. What's his name? Malcolm X said. He said, "Don't be so hard on a person for not knowing what you know, because it was a time when you didn't know what you know now. You
Right,
know,
right.
and with learning, it's okay to make changes. That's my word for the day. Last time I told everybody read up, learn the business and stuff. Now I'm saying with learning, it's okay to make changes, man. It's like and you what they say when you know better, you do better.
Right.
So if you found out something, you was a part of something, you was a part of a group of people, you was a part of an organization, whatever it might be. It's not just for music, for anything. And then you find out some stuff that ain't so cool. And say you do research, like maybe go to somebody that you trust within that organization or whatever, and ask them some questions for clarity or whatever, get the most clarity you can. And as you learn, change how you are. As you know better, do better, man. And don't let nobody shame you for doing better. Don't let nobody, oh, you think you too good now. Oh, you funny acting now. You
Yep.
switching up and all that. Hey, man, when you know better, you do better. And when you do that, at the end of the day, if you can live with yourself, and you can, when you know in the Most High on Judgment Day, call you to him, he ain't gonna ask you about nobody else. He gonna ask you about you. You can't tell him, oh, that's such and was doing it.
Yep.
I ain't want nobody to not like me no more. I ain't want nobody to say I wasn't cool. None of the prophets of the Bible was considered cool, man. These people got stoned, hurt, and all different ways, beat up, whipped, all type of stuff that happened to these people. But you know, like at the end of the day, they got their ultimate reward. So being popular, not saying just go out and do stuff just for the sake of being unpopular. Like don't just make a living out of trying to make people not like you. But you would say be at peace with all men if at all possible. But when it's come between you having peace with other people and you being able to look yourself in the mirror or being able to sleep at night, what would make you be able to sleep at night?
Facts. Facts,
Yes,
man.
sir.
All right, man. So shout your social media links out so people can find you. Your platforms where your music is located.
Oh, yes, sir. Type in on SoundCloud, type in THASHADOZ, The Shadows. On social media is Woodrow, WOODROW underscore 410, like the area code for Baltimore. And YouTube, I told you it wrong last time, and that's my fault. It is Woodrow, Brother Woodrow, but it's two words. Like that's not my real thing is a humble student,
Okay.
but you might not be able to find that might be too long or whatever. So just type in Brother Woodrow, but like in two words,
Okay.
not in one word. Because when it come up as one word, I'm gonna tell you something real scary about that when we get off the phone too. When I typed it in when I got off, because I read the comments afterwards,
Yeah.
and I saw where the brother said that he typed that in and somebody else came up. I'm gonna tell you something real scary about that. But yeah, type in Brother BROTHER and then space Woodrow, and then you should be able to see a picture of me that looks similar to that picture that's on the screen.
Gotcha,
That's
man.
my YouTube stuff. Yeah.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha, man. Man, brother Woody Rock, man, I thank you for giving me
Thank you,
the
brother.
time
I'll
today,
tell you, I'm a
man.
fan, man. Like you see, I just referenced one of your videos from earlier in the week. I
Yeah,
watch you like faithfully. When I get a
man.
notification that you got something up, best believe I'm watching. If I ain't in the live gang, I'm in the replay gang.
I
Yeah,
appreciate that,
definitely.
man. I appreciate that for real, man.
Yeah, much love, fam.
Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna chop it up. I thank y'all for being here for this live. Salute to Jordan Williams, Amir Cage, Anthony Sutton, Bree, Malia 420. She shouted us out. She said hello to Woody Rock and Jay.
Hey,
Bree, what's going on? She said, hey Jay and Woody, what's poppin', y'all?
what's
Perfectly
going on,
imperfect.
sweetheart?
Salute to everybody, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all go follow brother Woody Rock, man, and support his music if y'all can, man. I appreciate that. I would greatly appreciate that, man. For real.
My brother.
Yeah, man. So thank y'all for tapping in. Yo, Woody, I'm gonna call you right now and we're gonna chop it
Okay.
up. All right. Thank
Yes,
y'all for
sir.
being here, man. Appreciate y'all. I'm gonna drop a video for y'all tomorrow, first thing in the morning. All right. Peace.